Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in. My name is Vexler, and we've got a lot of Destiny content that we're going to be covering and recovering and analyzing and breaking down. Today we are going to be talking about the three basic trailers we received, as well as the teaser, or I guess not teaser, but cinematic trailer for both Beyond Light, which is coming in September, as well as the Season of Arrivals, which started on the 9th, which was this past Tuesday from when this video is being recorded. I am currently streaming as I'm recording this. You can always catch me live on twitch.tv/Vexler. But today we're going to be doing a frame-by-frame breakdown, starting with the Season of Arrivals gameplay trailer. We're going to see if there's anything we didn't catch in my initial reaction, which you can catch in the description. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start, break this down one by one, frame by frame, and see if we can notice anything and just build up the hype. That's what we're here for. That's what Bungie's good at, is building hype even 4 or 5 months out. So we're going to go ahead and go through this one by one. Turn down a little bit. We may pay attention to the audio a bit, but we're mostly going to be looking for screenshots and things like that. Now, keep in mind, this is just the Season of Arrival, so this is only going from June 9th to, I think they said the 21st of September, which is a day before the Beyond Light, which is the expansion, comes out. So this is only for the next few months is what we're going to be breaking down here. So we'll be anticipating any more events, maybe some of the other contents and missions that's going to be happening on some of the other planets as well. So we'll go ahead and pause this and play it one by one. This is the Almighty being destroyed last week.
Almighty has been reduced to smoldering ash, and with allies like Rasputin, who can stop us?
From Titan to Mercury,
This is Eris talking.
their shadow reaches.
Now, this cutscene was actually at the beginning of the Season of Arrival. So on Tuesday, when you first booted up the game after the weekly reset, this was the first cutscene you watched.
Is their message a warning? A trick?
So this scene right here is actually, like I said, the first cutscene. And what happens is she attempts to, I guess, use the same missiles that she was using to destroy the Almighty at the end of Season 10. And it didn't work. She shot the missiles, or it looked like she was shooting the missiles through the holograph that was on there, and the ship disappeared. It came back up, and then Rasputin was pretty much gone. So we don't know exactly what happened to Rasputin. Apparently he's disabled according to Zavala. We are expecting, I'm expecting at least, Rasputin to make some sort of comeback and maybe give us some more context on what exactly happened when he tried to take on the ship.
We can't know until.
So this is a shot from, it's definitely Mars. You can see the Rasputin Tower here on the left, and we've got the ship here. I have not been to Mars and looked in this specific spot. I'm pretty sure that I saw a post on Reddit or Twitter that said that this vantage point was not actually a location we could get to in the game. At least they couldn't find it on the post that I saw. So this may be a slightly new area we can access whenever the ship touches down on Mars. I'm assuming we're going to have the same public event, the same content that we're getting on Nessus, or excuse me, Io. We're probably going to be getting a lot of that on Mars as well. So we'll continue going from here.
Till we hear their words.
And this is on Titan. The ship is not available on Titan, and these, whatever you want to call them, pumps, these turbines, this is actually a mission from the Red War campaign and adventure. I don't know if you can get to this location without going into those missions, so this may also be another vantage point that we'll be getting whenever the season continues to progress forward. And what I'm assuming is the same content loop of doing the public event on Io. We're going to be doing that same thing on Mars as well as Titan, it looks like, and then towards the end of the season maybe something big will happen and that we'll stop having to do them. There has been a lot of secrets that have come, like these little eyes that people think that Savathun is using to spy on us. Savathun, for those of you who do not know, is Oryx, the Taken King's sister, who he actually killed in Destiny 1, so we think that she's going to have a big return. As you can see later in the trailer, it kind of confirms that. But people think that at the end of this season, a lot of the planets are going to be going away in some huge culminative event similar to the Almighty.
It's for ourselves.
You can hear the Drifter and Eris. They're both talking so far. They were in the reveal trailer or the cinematic trailer, excuse me, for Beyond Light, which we'll be reviewing here shortly, or the trailer for it at least. So the Drifter and Eris are definitely having a pretty big role in this season's cinematics and trailers and everything, as they will play a major role in Beyond Light. That is the ship that is on Io, which we can currently see. If you go to Io, you can see that ship.
You bring weapons.
This is the first point in the trailer where I was genuinely curious and thinking that this story was going to be a lot more important and awesome than what I thought in the first 30 seconds, 39 seconds. This person talking, I am certain, is the Crow, or what is his name? Uldren Sov. So the guy who killed Cade, spoiler warning, the guy who killed Cade in Forsaken, he was then shot at point blank by us. We kind of executed him. There was a teaser. I think it occurred in the game. I know it was leaked a few months back, but I'm pretty sure there was a trailer or a little cutscene where he was actually brought back to life by a ghost. So Uldren Sov, the person who killed our hunter mentor, has been brought back to life as a guardian. And for those of you who don't know, when you're brought back as a guardian, you do not know anything that happened in your previous life. There's been rumors that he's walking around and he's amongst the people at the tower, and people neglect him and they hate him for what he's done. But you kind of feel bad for the guy because he doesn't know what the heck he did. He just knows that he was woken up, told you're a guardian the same way we were, and whatever happens, happens. And this is him talking. And I'm thinking that in Destiny 1 there was a cutscene that we never got to see where the Crow, or Uldren, was in the Cosmodrome and he was holding a gun at us. I'm thinking they're going to try to bring that story back into this story now, with Uldren being revived and having a whole new story arc at his disposal. But this is him talking in this. You can see here we've got the bolt caster. Oh, what is it? It's not the bolt caster. Is it the bolt caster? I can't remember. But this is the ranged sword that throws the arc attack at a range. And then this is actually the baby dark drinker, as I'm dubbing it, where you do the spin attack. I've not actually got this sword yet, but I have got this one. And this one is definitely a hoss. And I've been told, and I've read online, that the Dark Drinker sword is an excellent DPS weapon as well, so we'll definitely be equipping those. This is on Io, this scene right here. This is actually the first mission in the game that you get to do in Season of Arrivals. It's a very beautiful scene, beautiful level design.
You will not need them.
Dark Drinker.
We offer only truth.
The darkness reached out, but something interferes. The witch sister of the Taken.
So this scene is actually the cutscene you get after you bring Eris back to Zavala in the first mission of Season of Arrivals, and she is talking about Savathun. I'm guessing this is going to be her symbol going forward, the same way that the Oryx had his own symbol. But apparently this is some pretty big vibes and story beats with Savathun, and apparently what they're talking about is that the darkness is trying to communicate with the Guardians. The darkness is trying to talk to us and let us know something, but Savathun keeps intervening. In the first mission, the darkness is actually trying to take us into the pyramid ship, and Savathun puts a portal in front of us, or what we think is Savathun. So she's keeping us away from the darkness for some reason. It's definitely a story turn I was not anticipating. I'm interested to see how this pays off, what exactly Savathun is keeping us from the darkness from it. That could be a wide array of reasons why. So definitely happy to see that pan out.
King Savathun.
New dungeon. This was revealed and released on Tuesday. I have not attempted it yet. Legitimately, I've loaded into it to see the opening kind of mission, or opening kind of, I guess, encounter. But I've not attempted this yet. But it's a really awesome looking dungeon from what I've seen so far. This is the dungeon. And this is the public event. I'm pretty certain this is not active on Titan, which is in this scene right now. It's only active on Io. So that kind of points back to my original belief that week to week, month to month in this season, they will be moving the public event to different areas in the game, and we will be doing them on different planets where the pyramids are active.
Final line that halts the second collapse.
This is the new exotic primary grenade launcher that you get from the season pass. Level 35 for a free-to-play player, and then immediately if you have the season pass purchased. It's a really good weapon, and it's busted. Now this is the exotic that we don't have any information about, other than it is going to be the quest exotic. So you always get a free exotic at rank 35 or rank 1 if you own the pass. This is going to be the quest exotic that they'll probably release 5 or 6 weeks in. Usually a little bit more involved to get this weapon. I really don't know anything about it other than it's a trace rifle. It's void, and whenever he kills this guy, he looks like he kind of goes into a black hole and collapses. So I'm kind of anticipating maybe if you kill something with this trace rifle, anything around it kind of gets sucked in and damaged as well. Possibly. That's just a theory. I have no idea. This weapon may be in the database. We may have information on it that I've not seen yet. Another shot of the dungeon.
Prepare yourself, Guardian. This battle is...
Now I want to see this scene right here. Am I a little too far back? There's a scene when Eris is talking.
Yourself, Guardian.
This scene right here, I'm not... That is an interesting screenshot right there. Okay, I have not seen this in game. This looks like a throne world. This up here is very reminiscent of Crota, the raid Crota from Destiny 1. And it looks like what's in the background could be like an Oversoul. So this maybe is going to be Nokris or a Savathûn mission where we go into their throne world. This is definitely a vibe I'm getting. I'm pretty sure this is not in the dungeon. It could be. I could be wrong, but this does not look like a dungeon aesthetic. The dungeon's very non-oriented. This definitely looks like something to do with the Hive and possibly the Nokris and Savathûn interaction we've been getting. It looks like right here, it's very small to see, but if you play Destiny 1, you know that Oryx had like a shadow form. This kind of looks like a shadow form. I'm not sure if you could see it well, but it looks like a shadow form standing directly in front of that door. So this is going to be an interesting mission that we'll probably get a few weeks in, maybe even for the exotic trace rifle.
This battle is not over.
And that's the ranged arc sword that we've gotten. Yeah, it's a lot of pyramids. Nothing really to do from this scene here, but yeah. All right, so that's about everything we can do and take a look at when it comes to the Season of Arrival reveal trailer. All these trailers are going to be on bungie.net. This is where I'm pulling them from, so we will actually be going into that website and pulling up the cinematic Beyond Light reveal trailer next and breaking that down. Okay, so that's the gameplay, and this is the reveal. So this is the actual cinematic that they introduced us to in the reveal trailer, or reveal stream on Tuesday. So none of this is gameplay. This is all going to be just cinematics. So this is the moon of Jupiter, I think. I think it's Jupiter. I'm pretty sure it's Jupiter. And this is Europa. Why does this keep coming up? Please no more. This is the Drifter's ship, his small ship coming from his big ship. This is what he lugs the big ball around. And this is the Europa planet that he is going to. This is Eris trekking through a tundra on Europa. And this is very reminiscent to the first reveal trailer we ever got for a Destiny game back in 2014 or 2013. There was a lot of vibes hitting in this trailer that we also got in the other one. And Bungie actually revealed that the same person who made the trailer in 2014 made this trailer as well. So they're definitely hitting that story beat intentionally. Now, this little symbol right here, there was a lot of speculation that these symbols looked like the aesthetic of the Dreaming City, where it has like all the rings and everything intersecting. It does look like that, but we anticipate that this is probably going to be the new stasis element damage type that we're getting in Beyond Light, as confirmed by Bungie. It looks like that whenever she's using this ability later in the trailer. It also is very reminiscent of that, so we'll talk about that when we see it. All right, so this is where people kind of went crazy. I didn't go crazy. I was kind of expecting it, but it was still exciting. This is the Stranger's Rifle from Destiny 1. All the way in Destiny 1, if you play the introductory, I guess not the introductory, the only campaign in the game, the only missions, the Stranger was a person you met on the moon, I think, at first, and then you eventually learned that she was from the future. She was an exo robot, and she had a really sweet gun that she gave you at the end of the campaign, and they eventually turned it into exotic and gave it some pretty cool abilities. So this is definitely her revival. We have not seen her since the end of the first campaign in Destiny 1. They kind of debated us and told us that her story was over. Well, they brought her back. Bungie has told us that the Stranger is not forged in light. They've definitely stressed that point. Every time the Stranger is brought up, they say she is not forged in light. She is forged from a time of darkness. So we think that she may be the opposite of a Guardian, but they still have like the ability to res themselves and maybe some cool abilities. So that's what I'm kind of anticipating and getting from seeing the Stranger in this trailer. And these scenes, this is actually the first image in this trailer. These actually are a pyramid ship that's opening up. It's on Europa, and the ship is opening up. That's what all these scenes of this orange, black, triangular shapes are, the ship opening up. This right here was what I was talking about. This is Eris, and she's kind of pulling ice towards her. Whenever we see the stasis ability in the gameplay trailer after this, it looks very similar to shards of ice or glass. So I think this is probably her using the stasis ability and kind of dwelling into that darkness form that Eris has kind of kept us from. She's kind of not swapping sides, but she's straddling the line between good and dark, and kind of going into what darkness, or kind of looking into what darkness can do for her and for the Guardians as a whole. Again, here's the stasis that she's using to kind of pick up ice and control what looks like ice. Now, I'm pretty sure at this point in the trailer, I don't recall any interaction between Eris Morn and the Drifter up to this point in time. I could be wrong. Nothing that's at least presented to us in-game. There's probably lore entries where they've communicated or at least hinted at one another, but I know that this trailer is the first time that I've been aware of them interacting. And I believe that there's actually some comments made by the Drifter after the Season of Arrival's launch where he's calling her moon dust or something like that, moonlight, where he's referring to Eris. So it's interesting to see these two characters who kind of, I guess they're not their attitudes, but the way they operate. The Drifter's very sarcastic, even though times are very peril and serious, and Eris has always got that dark, gloomy, serious tone. So I'm interested to see the two of them interact in some of the Beyond Light story I'm sure that we're going to get. Now, that's interesting. I'm wondering if she purposefully stopped using her ability when she saw him get off. That's interesting. I'm wondering if she does not want she does not want people to know she's kind of dwelling into this power. That's interesting. This is not a ghost. We're told by Bungie in the reveal trailer that this is not a ghost. Now, they did not just outright say it's not a ghost. It has nothing similar to a ghost. They just said it is not a ghost. It is something else. So I am thinking this may be a darkness version of a ghost, possibly. That's really about all I can say on it. I think the question was asked whenever Luke Smith, who's the game designer, they asked him directly, they being Dr. Lupo, who's a prominent streamer who's big into Destiny. He asked him directly, are we ever going to be able to get this, whatever this is? And Luke said, I think he said possibly. That may not have been his wordings exactly, but he said that I think it was on the table that we may eventually at one point be able to get something like this. So I'm anticipating, it looks like a ghost. It doesn't look like a ghost, but it looks like just the way it moves around and follows the stranger. She's not a Guardian, but she was forged in a time where there was no light, so she may be the anti-Guardian or an anti-Guardian, but she's still helping us, if that makes sense.
This is what I brought you here to see.
She sounds like Ada. I'm not sure if they're using the same voice actor for Ada as they are with the Stranger now. I'm pretty sure the Stranger had a different voice actor in Destiny 1. I could be wrong. But this is the kind of the final scene that we get. So we are on Europa, and the ship is opening. So that's why they're all looking at it. We've seen darkness ships before. We've had the one on the moon in Shadowkeep, but this is the first time I think that we've seen one begin to open up. So it's possible that maybe whatever's in here is going to come out, or it's going to begin doing whatever these ships do. So it's interesting to see what will happen in this story, as well as the interactions, like I said earlier, with these three characters, see what each one tells us about the other, if they like one another, if they don't like one another. So this is a good kind of final scene for this cinematic reveal. And then, of course, the Beyond Light title. It's very, very blue curtain, if you know what I mean. When teachers are always like, blue curtain symbolize this. This is what I'm getting from this. You know, we had New Light, Destiny 2 New Light, that launched alongside of Shadowkeep. And now we have Beyond Light. So, you know, last year and pretty much everything before Shadowkeep was kind of a time of new light, of new guardians coming into the world. And Beyond Light is now, we have a good foundation built of guardians, and we're going to be dwelling and straddling that line between darkness and light. You know, what do we need to beat darkness? You know, learning. This feels like a time of learning more than it does chaos and calamity. You know, I'm not getting vibes from these trailers that we're going on a full-on war with the darkness. I'm feeling like we're instead going to be experimenting and learning about the darkness, and then perhaps after we've had time to dwell on these decisions and the new abilities we can have, whether or not we're going to be with the darkness or the light. And I'm thinking with how they've announced the next few years worth of content, I'm thinking that lines up pretty good. I'm anticipating that Beyond Light is going to be a year of learning. We're going to get dark subclasses, dark weaponry. We're going to get a lot of darkness in this next year. The Witch Queen, I'm thinking that's definitely going to be Savathun. We're going to be dwelling with her. I believe Oryx also has another sibling besides Savathun, so she may be mixed in that story as well. I'm not sure. But the 2022 expansion is called Lightfall, and I'm thinking that we have a year of learning about the darkness, learning what it is. Just as we're in the middle of this learning process, we have Savathun show up at our doorstep, and obviously we're going to have to do something about her. She, from what we've seen so far in Season of Arrivals, is not wanting us to interact with the darkness. Maybe she does not want us to get darkness abilities. From the lore entry that we actually got with Bungie a few days ago on Bungie's website, Nokris, who is, I think that's Oryx's brother, they are experimenting with Savathun to kind of stop the darkness. So what I'm thinking is that the darkness is going to take us by the hand, and we are going to become the new, ultimate being in the universe. And Savathun does not want this, and Savathun is going to try to stop us. So we're in the middle of interacting with our darkness powers, our darkness abilities. In 2021, she's going to show up. We're going to stop her. And then 2022, which has been dubbed Lightfall, may be that point in time where everybody in the game has to decide, are you going to be a dark guardian, a light guardian? And then from there, that 2023 and 2024, the next 2 years, this game was supposed to have a 10-year plan and kind of be culminating in 2024. So I'm interested to see after 2022, which is Lightfall, if we're going to have like new narrative paths and decisions. Like, hey, I'm a dark guardian. There's a light guardian in front of me. Am I going to be able to fight them, to like have the community split and fight one another? It's just a really weird thought, an awesome thought for sure, but so many things that could have been done and so many different things that you could be getting from these trailers. But that's kind of my really quick 2-minute thought process on what they've shown us and what I think might happen. So this was the Beyond Light cinematic reveal. So it's just a story beat trailer, and then they've got the promotional material. You get the No Time to Explain Pulse with the pre-order, which I will be doing, and then there's the the Bungie Prophecy Dungeon, which they revealed on Tuesday. All right, so this is the bread and butter. We might spend the most time in this trailer here, but this is going to be the gameplay trailer for Beyond Light. So this is where we're going to see actual gameplay, weaponry, people fighting using new abilities. So we're going to break this down as well. This is the moon of, this is Europa. This is the Exo speaking. I'm not sure if where we're looking at is going to be a playable area or just something for the scene.
From the Darkness One.
Okay, so she says directly, I came from a place where the darkness has won. So she is definitely from either the future or from another location where the darkness, overtook civilization and she came out of it.
I have witnessed this firsthand.
So she's referring to the darkness winning. She thinks that what is happening now where the darkness is showing up in our system, she is saying that she's seen this happen before. She kind of knows what's going to happen.
I refuse to let it happen again.
She's going to stop it. She's not going to let it happen again. I'm getting Pyramidion vibes with all this. This looks like Pyramidion, and this looks like the Clovis Bray facility where they've got like on Mars and Destiny 1, they've got those big towers that kind of look like big cylinders. Okay, so Shanks. I'm not sure if this is an enemy of any kind. Now, Europa is rumored as well. I'm pretty sure at this point it's confirmed that the Deepstone Crypt is a location in the Beyond, or in Europa. And the Deepstone Crypt, I can't speak. The Deepstone Crypt is a location where the Exos are created. So if you're an Exo in the game of Destiny, or you have an Exo NPC like Banshee or Cade, apparently this is where they're created, and all of them have a memory of being here. They don't have any memories before being an Exo, but they have memories of being here at this facility. So it's definitely a big story beat in Destiny to go here, and apparently the raid's going to be here as well. So this is I think this is the Deepstone Crypt, which we're going to see a few times in the trailer. Again, this is a big Pyramidian vibe. The first time I saw this, I thought maybe they're going to be changing and doing things in the Pyramidian. This could be the Pyramidian. I really don't know. If this is meaning to be Europa, I mean, this is honestly like they took the Pyramidian strike and just shoved it underground. In terms of weaponry, we've got, the hunter symbol on his back. I think that's the hunter symbol. Red armor. I'm not really sure what this gun is. I'm sure it's maybe a Beyond Light weapon. This also looks like the Prison of Elders, like there's the Prison of Elders vibe with these tents and everything here mixed in with the Pyramidian. I'm pretty sure Europa is going to have a strong Fallen presence on it, so that might be what this is getting at. This is Insurrection's Prime. Basically, I'm guessing he's going to be like a strike boss or a boss in the campaign, but it looks like Insurrection's Prime's body. Deepstone Crypt, 100%. I have no doubt that this is the Deepstone Crypt, or a portion of the Deepstone Crypt. These are definitely robots or Exos of some kind moving in a ship underground. This is definitely something to do with Exos and being created in like a factory vibe. So this is, I think, maybe where the raid's going to be. These ships kind of look like... I don't think this is going to be one, but you could get that vibe of King's Fall, where you had the ships that were moving, so maybe you have to ride those through some tunnels. That's just kind of something I'm kind of getting from there. This is definitely Fallen. This is the Fallen ship. It honestly looks like a Crucible map from Destiny 1, where you would come into all these Fallen categories. I think it actually took place on a Fallen ship. There was a big servitor in the middle of the map. This is kind of what that looks like. He's got a trial shotgun. This looks like a Gorgon or a Harpy. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like the boss that we have in Garden of Salvation right now.
It's time the truth presented itself.
This is, again, just the doors. It's very a Fallen aesthetic on the door here.
Presented itself to you.
And this is more of the Pyramidian ice vibe. So it's almost looked like they combined like the Pyramidian vibe on Io with the underground ice of Mars, but this is obviously the Europa ice.
To you.
This is definitely Fallen. These are lasers. I'm guessing we got some more trip mine action, which I hate.
Darkness.
And this looks like the Lost Sector from the Tangled Shore, but I'm assuming it's all new.
Resides within.
Nice shot from under. I'm seeing like different colored guns, like red and blue. Could just be the shaders they've got on them.
Beckoning you.
She said the darkness beckoning you, I'm pretty sure.
Resides within. Beckoning you.
Or that something resides within it's beckoning us. So this is a good shot. Again, we've kind of got that Vexy Pyramidian vibe. These towers look like the ones that were on Venus in Destiny 1. And then we've got a Guardian who's overlooking just a massive, massive landscape. There's a Minotaur right here. I'm not sure if you can see that as well. This guy's got the Trials of Osiris helmet on, and he looks like he's standing in almost a Rasputin aesthetic area, but I'm assuming it's, like I said, all on Europa. Now, War Mines and Exos and Deepstone Crypt all kind of tie in together, so we're probably going to get a lot of different themes mixing together with Europa. And again, this kind of looks like a Fallen area mixed with a Cabal. Like this kind of looks like when you're on the arms dealer, this is kind of a look to that, but it's also kind of got a Fallen look to it as well. This is big Mars vibes from D1. We've got the Clovis buildings and facilities here. but this is Europa.
The truth we cannot hide from.
I'm just looking out for anything on the Guardian specifically. More Pyramidian vibes. Got some Vex milk.
And so we must
And this is the ship that I'm assuming is going to be on the surface of Europa, the same way they have it on Io and Mars and Titan by the end of the season.
embrace it.
This is Insurrection Prime. It looks kind of like a strike boss, the way they're making it. Again, this is kind of in this Vexy Prison of Elders area where he's landing at, because this is a Prison of Elders Fallen type thing right here, and then you've got the Pyramidian Vex vibes back here. This looks like a turret as well, possibly. Got a Guardian using the Summoner auto rifle. Alright, so we're on the ground. It looks like... Okay, I think I see what's going on here. This looks like the Vex have taken over Europa, or the Vex have some structures on here, and it looks like the Fallen have probably built over these structures and kind of made some encampments. That's what all this, the Fallen structures here are on top of the Vex structures, excuse me. And then this right here kind of gives a Prison of Elders vibe as well. Symbol here. I'm not sure if I've seen this before. Looks like a star. Now this, the first time I saw it, it looked like Siva. That's what I thought, with like the diamond on his back, but he's not showing any other signs of Siva. He's just looking like he's got a kind of a cube on his back. He's not red or got anything like that on it, but this definitely an interesting character. I'm not sure if this is going to be a new character type with the Fallen, or if this is maybe a strike boss. That guy was using what looked like the Chaperone. I believe it's the Chaperone with the bull symbol. I love the art design. This red ice. Good shot there. Guardian getting downed. This is the auto rifle from Last Wish, as well as the scout rifle on his back. Was this Guardian shooting this Guardian? Guess it was just an aesthetic thing. Again, looks like Insurrection Prime to me, just another variant. What weapon was he dropping? Looks like a little SMG or a sidearm of some kind. Now, this is where the trailer takes a turn. This shard material, the ice glass look, I believe is stasis. I think this is where they're going to start showing us some of the more darkness-oriented abilities that we may be able to experiment with in Beyond Light.
The line
This, I'm not sure if it's a servitor or if it's a specific boss. Maybe it's like a specific instance where we're fighting a servitor and something blows it up. I'm not sure.
between light and dark is so very thin.
That line we've heard from Uldren before, whenever he was taken or corrupted by the Wish Dragon from Dreaming City. And then we have the Vex here, who looks like they're covered in this ice stasis damage type, I believe. You got a Minotaur. I'm not sure if there's a Guardian standing here or not, but again, just ice everywhere. This is a Fallen. I'm not sure. I think it's a Vandal. And then this looks like a turret in the background that's frozen as well. Now, I'm not sure. Was that a four-legged? This right here looks like a... I'm not sure if this is an animal or just a set piece. It looks frozen, or it's being affected by whatever this is. I'm not sure if this is some kind of new walker tank in the background, or what. It may be nothing.
Let's cross it together.
Okay, so this is where we are seeing a Guardian. This is either going to be a weapon similar to the Valkyrie, or this is a darkness subclass. Now, I'm drifting to the darkness subclass due to the fact that this is definitely a Guardian, and he seems to be drenched in this ice, just covered in it. So I'm assuming the same way when you pop a hammer or Stormcaller, you've got that effect all around your body. I'm assuming that this is what this guy's doing. Yeah, he's definitely sitting here. He's got a crucible bond, so it's a warlock for sure, and he's charging something in his hand, and it comes out as this spear, this ice spear, and he's just covered in this stasis material, which is apparently a darkness subclass, and he's firing it. Okay, so here he is from the back, and he shoots it at the Minotaur. I think he's shooting it. Yeah, it looks like right here it's being shot. And I'm not sure if that's the same frame or a different frame to kind of trick us on what it's doing, but you can see all these little crystals. Looks like diamonds and jewels from when it's actually hitting them. And it's a very cool aesthetic. It's just a dark blue, and then you've got mixes of white in here, and then you've got just huge dark shards and kind of reds mixed in whenever it's hitting these guys. And then it like covers them kind of the same way that you can see an enemy burning or getting electrocuted when you hit them. And here we've just got several, looks like Fallen just getting bombarded with this stasis. It says go beyond the light, so if that's not more revealing that we're going to be getting these, then I don't know what else is. And this looks like possibly a bigger boss or a captain that's kind of covered in this material. I'm interested to see if, like, similar to how Slag worked in Borderlands 2, if covering an enemy in this is going to add maybe a slowing effect to them or maybe a weakening effect. I know the burning, if you hit something with a solar grenade, it kind of burns them, but I don't believe Arc and Void have any sort of respective with them, but I know like the solar is obviously fire, so maybe they're going to be mixing up the subclass ability damage types to have different effects with them. Not sure. This is definitely a Fallen ship. This guy's using the Trials Scout. I'm assuming it looks like he's throwing a grenade. I'm assuming it's going to be a darkness grenade perhaps, and there's a darkness explosion here going off, it looks like, as well. The stasis where you can see the crystals jutting out. Again, this may be a darkness grenade that kind of, instead of exploding, it implodes. This one's definitely exploding, though. Was that a Guardian kneeling down? I thought that was an enemy. Take a look at that shot again. I think I fast-forwarded. Okay, this might be... This looks like a Titan or some type of enemy kneeling down and charging something up. So this, I thought this was an enemy at first. This could be a war or some kind of Guardian kneeling down and doing something. And then we've got another view of the pyramid ship. And then we got a servitor back here. It's consumed by this stasis, this captain. I think this is such a beautiful shot of a hunter. Just look at the aesthetic. He's got the Trials armor on. This is the Trials of Osiris armor, and it almost looks like he's covered in venom, like Venom from the Marvel, the Spider-Man series. It looks like Venom covering his body, and then you've got the ice stasis all around him, and then he's brandishing two blades of some sort, similar to how the Night Stalker class works now. I'm not sure if this is in the back. Is it the cape or something just with his armor? Oh, that was just the effect of this. So these might be like spinning sickles. I'm not sure if it's just the effect of them spinning or if they're actually like sickles, like ice picks that you're using. Okay, so he just threw... I'm not sure. Again, they're kind of doing the thing. These are Fallen, and then these are Vexed in the immediate frame. So they're doing that thing where they're tricking you. But he definitely throws something that's spinning, like a throwing knife or maybe a trip mine grenade of some sort. Yeah, just the way it's spinning makes me think it's like a trip mine where it's heavy on one side. And then it hits and then it blows up, I'm assuming, but this is a different frame. And that looked like a Guardian. I'm not sure if this is a Guardian right here or a Fallen. Just the way it's standing kind of looks like a Guardian. There's a Minotaur. And then here's this kind of same explosion we're getting here. So this is, I'm guessing, is an explosion of darkness. And then this right here, it hits them. We've got all this shrapnel out here that's moving, but this little core is not moving. So again, I'm not sure what that's going to be. Then we've got them throwing these stasis grenades and all these enemies just shattering before them. And again, they did say that the stasis is not just going to be a new subclass, it's going to be a damage type as well. So keep in mind, a lot of the new weapons and exotic weapons may have this new stasis effect on them. So a lot of what we've seen in the trailer may not necessarily be just grenades, supers, and melees, but they could also be effects of fusion rifles, of shotguns, exotic rocket launchers using stasis. A lot of that could be tied to that as well. Okay, so here's an actual clip. I have not taken the time to look at this. But that's an actual freeze frame of the new subclasses. Oh, if I can get that, that'd be nice. Actually move the speed of this a little bit. Okay, so we've definitely got the hunter wielding these two. I think it's definitely like some sort of sickle or a pick, because this, I don't think it's for an effect. It doesn't look like he's spinning them that fast to just kind of be motion blur. So we've got a hunter subclass using these two sickles or picks that he kind of flourishes. We've got the warlock using what looks like a trident or a spear of darkness, and then the titan. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't know if the Titan is kind of lifting his arms up over his head and he's got these huge chunks of ice or what. Yeah, it looks like he's just literally got two huge shields, so maybe he just kind of like runs into things as Titans do and bashes them against each other. I'm not really sure, but kind of looks like he's got like a dual-wield sentinel almost is what he looked like with those two huge chunks. That looks hobgoblin. Okay, I'm going to see if I can catch if that was in the back. It looks like a guardian or something moving from the left side of the screen to the right. That may be maybe something frozen by stasis or moving backwards.
I will give these guardians the destruction they crave.
This is, I think her name is Aramis or something like that. She's basically going to be the spider or the new person for this expansion. I'll be yawning like crazy today, but I think this is going to be a fallen warrior and not like fallen down, but like an actual fallen race where apparently from what Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy have told us at the live stream, this is going to be a character who was once touched by the Traveler's Light and then left behind or abandoned. And she's kind of traveled across the universe, getting together scraps of the fallen race and getting them together, I guess, for maybe an assault on the Traveler or just helping people who are also affected by the light and telling them, you know, what the Traveler is really about and revealing some of the secrets to it, perhaps. And she is saying here that she's going to give the Guardians, being us, the destruction that we crave. So I'm assuming we're going to be getting a lot of the darkness subclasses and darkness weapons from this person, from this fallen. And she's obviously brandishing some sort of artifact or something that has to do with darkness. It's actually, I believe, on the collector's image is her hand holding this this object. And then we've got the final shot of the Beyond Light September 22nd reveal. I'm assuming this is the stranger sitting here. I think. Maybe not. Doesn't look like the stranger's rifle on her back, but this looks like the stranger's vibe. Oh, this is Eris, perhaps. Because this has got the effect of stasis kind of seeping around her the same way it did in the cinematic. So this may be Eris that we're seeing here instead. And if this the fallen hand and the rewards you get for pre-ordering. All right. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch the trailer one time through without me stopping and pausing it all the way just to enjoy it because I think it's a really good trailer. And then we will wrap up with final thoughts.
Where I come from, the Darkness One. I have witnessed this firsthand. I refuse to let it happen again. It's time the truth presented itself to you. Darkness resides within, beckoning you. This is a truth we cannot hide from, and so we must embrace it. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together.
I will give these Guardians the destruction they crave.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so final thoughts. We'll kind of wrap this up. I'm excited, to say the least. I'm excited to see some of the story beats. I'm a big lore guy on the darkness. You know, what this fallen person has to tell us about the Traveler, about the interactions with the light and the dark. Definitely excited for the new subclasses to see, you know, what the stasis subclasses can bring to the game. For sure, I'm looking forward to the new element type for all the weapons that we can get. So I'm super excited about that. I am excited about the Deepstone Crypt, which I believe is going to be where the raid is located. The Exos, Rasputin, Warmind AIs, the Clovis Bray facility who created Rasputin. All these things kind of connect together, and I'm hoping that we're going to get some of those connections kind of pay off in the Deepstone Crypt raid. I'm hoping for sort of an aesthetic similar to Wrath of the Machine, but obviously with the Deepstone Crypt and a Fallen, I guess, focus on this expansion. We really won't tell until it gets here. But that's my thoughts for the different reveal trailers we got, as well as the cinematic trailer we got as well, on both the Season of Arrivals as well as the Beyond Light. I hope you like some of the analysis here we had today. If you're wanting to ever check me out, again, we're on twitch.tv/Vexler. You can take part in the streams, take part in these recording sessions, and just hang out and have fun, talk about Destiny, talk about whatever you want to talk about. But that's all from me. I'll let you all keep hanging out and having a good time on YouTube. So thanks for chilling out, guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch if you haven't already. And without further ado, have a good one, guys.